But we're coming off of a huge week in entertainment. Obviously, the big story coming out of Friday night, as most people across the globe, something like 60, 70 million people, simultaneously, were watching the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. Now, I really wasn't that interested in this, but I went out. We went out to dinner with some friends, put it on. They left. I left it on. I knew they would start in late. Before we get to, because we have not really talked about this that much. Shah, did you get to see the fight live?
I did.
Okay.
I don't know, man. It was exactly what I expected it to be honest with you.
No
Um,
surprise.
and of course, we'll go around, but do you
Yeah.
think it was staged? Like this was essentially like wrestling to me.
I'm,
Like it
I'm
was,
not. I'm not. I'm not saying that it was. I'm not. I'm not saying it was staged. But if I found out it was, I would be. I would just nod my head and go, okay, yeah, that makes sense to me. You know what I mean? Bisho, did you see it live?
Kind of. I had to watch it the next morning. I started the fight early because I wanted to see the undercard fights because we had nothing going on that night. We were just
Yeah,
hanging
yeah.
out. And it was fine. And then all of a sudden, right when the women were about to fight, which I
Yes.
heard is the best fight of the night,
Yes.
um,
Crashed.
it starts crashing. And it kept crashing. And then
Yep.
finally, we got to like the intros where they're coming out.
Mhm.
Jake Paul came out in the car, did the Eddie Guerrero thing, and
Yes.
it just kept, it wouldn't play. So my wife and I are like, "Fuck it, we're not gonna have it ruined and buffer like halfway through the fight or at the end." And
Yeah.
we turned it off. We woke up the next morning and watched it with a cup of coffee. I okay, I won't say it's rigged necessarily. Like Tyson took a dive, but I
Mhm.
also have heard a lot about the contract, like the rules in the contract. Like Tyson couldn't throw an uppercut, or
Jesus.
there is a video that I don't know if you guys
He
sent me
pulled the
where
punch. Yeah, he looks like he
not
totally.
not
well,
just
there's,
pulling the punches,
yeah,
but
I
like
sent
there's
it over.
but
He
there was
stopped.
another one too. There was an early flurry where Tyson throws like a left and a right and kind of catches Paul under the chin, and then
Yeah.
Paul ties up with him in the ropes. And as they're tied up, Tyson like taps him on the head with his glove, and they back up, and that's the last time Tyson ever really threw a hard shot.
Yeah. I mean,
But
listen.
but I
I'm
will
sorry. Go ahead.
say no. I was gonna say the reason I won't say it's staged necessarily was there's a couple of times, especially as the fight went on longer, where you could tell there was like a delay in Tyson's reaction time, where he
Mhm.
would set up almost for a shot, but then by the time he got there, Jake Paul had already backed up.
Yeah.
So
He was
who
slow.
knows?
Yeah.
Well,
He was.
that was the thing that kind of made me suspicious of it being rigged was because like it seemed like Tyson almost went for it like 40 different times and just wouldn't go for it. And I'm like, why is he holding back? And
Well,
don't get me wrong, like the first two rounds, I thought it was real. And then after that, like Tyson, you could tell he's just old, man. He was winded. He couldn't keep up. But
yeah.
still at the same time, though, I think if it was legitimate, I think Tyson probably would have knocked him out in the third round. He
Yeah.
had
I
a
mean,
lot of opportunities.
look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Okay. Tyson's 58. He's a little bit older than me. I can't do shit that I could do 4 or 5 years ago. Almost nothing I could do 4 or 5 years ago. And I kept myself in, I'm not Mike Tyson shape, but I was a motherfucker who was in shape, like for real, real. And I can't do almost any of this shit anymore. I can't. I simply can't. I can't drink like I want to drink. I can't stay up as late as I want to. I got to fucking piss 500 times a day. I can't run anywhere near the way I used to run. I used to run 11 miles a day, 5 days a week. Okay. I used to run 11 miles a day. I'd be lucky if I could do 8. I'd be like lucky, and I might have to go to the hospital after. It's just life. It's He looked good. He looked incredible. He's not fat anymore. He's in insane shape. But we're older people. Like Jake Paul is 27 fucking years old and a sick athlete. Shot. I mean, him and his brother are, if nothing else, they're athletes, right? At the
Yeah.
end of the day.
No,
I mean,
I hate them a whole lot, but I will always credit them. Like they are definitely, they
yeah,
can
they're
hand it
athletes.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah, they can
they're the
definitely
real
dish
deal
it
in
out.
athletically. This
Yeah,
is
they're
just life.
cornballs, but
Yeah, they're goofy.
they're determined and they're
Yeah,
motivated and they stick to whatever they're fucking going for. Like the guy that's wrestling, like clearly he took it seriously and got trained.
yeah.
Same
Logan
with Jake
Paul,
Paul. Like
he's great.
I at least
Great. Yeah.
respect the fact that they took their craft seriously, whatever they're passionate about. But yo, if you see any clips of Mike Tyson training,
Mhm.
dude, he was a fucking monster still in those training clips from like 2 days ago. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And this just
Yeah,
wasn't
look at here we go.
yeah. This wasn't the same Mike Tyson even in the first round.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know. I know.
It
I
just
mean,
this
look.
I don't know. It's hard for me to believe this is the same guy when he's training for that fight. This was not him
Yeah,
in the ring, bro.
I don't think it was staged. I think there may have been conditions put into it that were so not boxer friendly, but also,
Well,
I mean,
I don't mean staged in a sense that like Jake Paul had to. I just mean like they agreed that Mike Tyson is not going to knock him out because Tyson got paid $20 million. He was only worth $10 million. I thought he was worth more, right?
well, he's
So he tripled his income overnight. You know what I mean? Which is like, dude, this is like fucking wealth for his kids. You know what I mean? He's
yeah,
old.
he's got a lot of kids, he's got ex-wives, he's got
He doesn't give a
lawsuits,
fuck about losing to
trainers.
Jake Paul now, man. He just tripled his
58
fucking
years
worth.
old, dude.
Yeah,
He's
who cares?
58. He's 2 years away from 60, yo.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Wow,
everybody
man.
won in this shit, dude. Fucking Netflix.
Well, we
made
all
money.
lost. I mean, you know.
Well, I mean, the participants, they
Yeah.
fucking made out $60 million, you know,
Jesus
and
Christ.
Netflix probably made a shit ton of money. But
Yeah, I mean, Bisho, you know, it's just, I think it's a combination of a lot of things, but to not, Father Time is undefeated, man.
Yeah, I mean, death comes for us all, Orokusaki. It's just, it's undeniable. But it was probably an exhibition arrangement for a number of reasons. Like you said, Tyson's 60. He probably didn't want to be knocked out by Jake Paul.
Oh,
And another thing too, while I was watching the fights, I was texting our buddy Marquise because Marquise is the
yeah, he covers
boxing
boxing.
guy.
Yeah, he would have been great to talk to tonight.
I was asking him about the fights, and I noticed it said MVP boxing. I'm like, what the fuck is MVP boxing? Jake Paul is one of the promoters of this venture.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And they're trying to build him as this big boxing star. So if you think about it like wrestling terms or even Don King terms, like it makes sense why they would arrange this so that, hey, Mike Tyson is going to go the distance. He's not going to knock you out, but he's also not going to run the risk of being embarrassed. Let's have a good show, make a shitload of money, and we're all friends and we kiss and hug and carry on.
Yeah, I mean, look, the 53-year-old in me wanted to see Mike Tyson light this fucking cracker up. I mean, there's just no other way around it. The 53-year-old in me went, oh, I'm getting really tired. What time are the walkouts coming out? Like, this is life, guys. Like, I know, like, believe me. I wish it was different. I had no delusions of grandeur going, the 58-year-old's going to show him the way. No, you know, Jake Paul's a fucking sick athlete. He clearly knows what he's doing. Of course you want him to get beat up, but that's not the way life works, Shah, right? I mean, if this was a movie, Tyson would have won, cried at the end, and everyone would have cried and thought it was wonderful. You know what I mean?
yeah, well, yeah, it would have been like a Rocky movie.
Rocky.
I don't know,
Rocky
man.
Balboa. That's the plot of Rocky Balboa.
It's literally Rocky.
Yeah, exactly.
Rocky
Yeah,
Balboa.
exactly.
Like, you know,
I still haven't seen that movie, by the way.
it's a good movie. Rocky
I've
Balboa.
seen the first
You were like,
5, never seen
Rocky
the second.
Balboa is good. It's hard. It's like, it's a little depressing, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. So yeah, I mean, look, I don't know what people expected. I think we all would agree that we would love to see Jake Paul get knocked out by Mike Tyson. But it's not going to happen. I'm glad Tyson didn't get knocked out. I don't think it was fixed necessarily. I just think it was never going to. I mean, look, man, Tyson is a boxing god. I mean, he's a fucking god of boxing. He's almost 60. He seems happy. He seems okay. His life got better, not worse. Most people, guys, his age at 58 in boxing are either literal vegetables or not here. Tyson looks like he's going to be with us for a long time. And, you know, he seems to be enjoying this part of his life. I'm not excusing any of the shit that he's done in his life. I'm just saying, you know, it was a little humble. It was a hard thing for my age group to see that, but it is a part of reality. And for those of you who are considerably younger, I know most of you are in your 30s for the most part. Some of you even younger than that. When I tell you this is life, as great shape as he's in, he looked gassed. He doesn't have that power anymore. And it's a shame, but so is the way of the world. You know, it's not the end of the universe. Bisha, was it 60 million, 70 million people? Was it somewhere in that number? I'm just trying to get the number.
60 to 80. I thought I heard 80, but that might have been an exaggeration.
Yeah, and as far as the streaming goes, of course it was going to have problems, connectivity problems. Like, of course, there's 80 million fucking people trying to watch.
I do have to give credit to Lippman. Everyone's saying, oh, Raw's going to have problems. And Lippman just threw out, guys, Raw's not going to have a fraction.
Yeah, like 800,000 people are going to watch that live. Yeah, Shah, people are like, WWE is going to get in trouble because how are they going to... And it's like, yeah, 60 million people aren't going to try to watch WWE next month. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they're going to be okay with Raw, man. I saw so many memes with them saying that they're going to botch Raw, and I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, dude, you're comparing the whole globe watching this versus wrestling fans.
Yeah.
This is not
If they get 1 million, they'd be shitting in their pants at 1 million, which
right.
they might. Who the fuck knows?
Be sure
But
click on that link that I just sent. This is a clip of the fight. It looks like Mike Tyson's crying in the corner. Like it's not a good look, man. It's not a good look.
Yeah, let me get there.
hold on.
Yeah.
Let's take a
Did
quick
you
Used
see
to
him?
the
He
new
kept
song.
biting his glove. What was that? What
He
was
just
that?
does that. He just does that.
Yeah,
Is that
they
like some
asked
kind
him
of-
about that because they were speculating. The great boxing mind Rosie Perez was speculating on why he was doing that, and
Well, maybe he got sauce on it or something.
she talked good at everything.
maybe he spilled something on it and he's trying to get it off.
But he said it's just a nervous thing he does.
Yeah.
Like Maro's arguing with Rosie Perez, like he lost his mouthpiece, Rosie. He's like, nah, man, it's just the thing I've always
This
done.
was beneath Morrow, not for nothing.
Look at this shit, man. This
He
is
looked
bad.
He looked
Yeah.
terrible, and
He's
a lot of
tired.
boxing people I know. No,
No,
I mean
he's
Morrow.
tired.
I
You
mean
know, at
Morrow.
our age, he had to pee
He's
probably
dead.
4 times since the time this match started.
No, I mean
right?
Morrow looked terrible.
Morrow looked terrible.
He
Yeah,
looked like he
Morrow's
rolled out
not-
of bed.
I love
And then-
Morrow to death, but like, my
Yeah.
God.
But
you
then,
know,
like Marquise was talking, and some other boxing fans were too, about how they hate Morrow's commentary because he's more concerned with getting his shit in
yeah,
than actually like analyzing the fight. And
that doesn't bother me. It's a show. You know, it's a show. You know, it's show business boxing. It's a part of a show. I just think, I couldn't believe they had like 60, 70,000 people in a fucking stadium to watch that. Oh my God. Like, what the fuck?
they convinced everybody Tyson was still 19 years old, man.
Yeah. Dude, if Tyson would have knocked that dude out, there would have been people like in the 40 to 60 age group doing zippity doodah on fucking TikTok for the next fucking 40 years. Because there's nothing people my age group hate more than young people.
Spitball Media.